Ma'at, goddess of truth, justice, and cosmic order. Ma'at is one of the most pivotal deities in the pantheon of ancient Egyptian religion, embodying the fundamental principles of truth, justice, and cosmic order. Revered not only as a goddess but as a concept central to the Egyptian worldview, Ma'at's influence permeated all aspects of life, governance, and the afterlife. This text will provide an in-depth exploration of Ma'at, tracing her origins, her role in mythology, her representation in art and literature, and her lasting impact on Egyptian society and beyond. Origins and depiction. Ma'at's origins can be traced to the early dynastic period of ancient Egypt, around 3,100 years before Christ. She emerged as a personification of the natural and moral law that governed the universe. Ma'at was often depicted as a woman wearing an ostrich feather on her head, which symbolized truth. Occasionally, she was shown with outstretched wings, signifying her role as a protector of balance and harmony. The visual representation of Ma'at in tomb paintings, temple reliefs, and various artifacts emphasizes her importance. The ostrich feather, known as the feather of Ma'at, became a key symbol in Egyptian iconography, representing the divine standard against which all actions were measured. This consistent portrayal across different mediums reflects the deep-rooted significance of Ma'at in Egyptian culture. Mythological significance. In Egyptian mythology, Ma'at was seen as the daughter of Ra, the sun god, and she played a crucial role in the maintenance of cosmic order. According to myth, Ra established Ma'at at the creation of the world, and it was her principles that upheld the universe against the forces of chaos, represented by the serpent Apophis. Ma'at's principles were essential in the daily journey of Ra's solar bark across the sky. Every night, Ra's bark would descend into the underworld, where it faced the threat of Apophis. The survival of Ra and the rebirth of the sun each morning were seen as a victory of Ma'at over chaos. This mythological framework highlighted Ma'at's role in maintaining the balance of the cosmos. The feather of Ma'at. One of the most significant symbols associated with Ma'at is her feather. In the ancient Egyptian belief system, the heart of the deceased was weighed against Ma'at's feather in the Hall of Two Truths during the judgment in the afterlife. This ritual was overseen by Osiris, the god of the afterlife, and Thoth, the god of wisdom. The heart, representing the individual's conscience and deeds, needed to be as light as Ma'at's feather for the deceased to enter the field of reeds, a paradisiacal version of the afterlife. A heart heavier than the feather indicated a life of wrongdoing, leading to the soul being devoured by Ammit, a fearsome creature. This weighing of the heart underscored the moral imperative to live in accordance with Ma'at's principles of truth and justice. Ma'at in the judicial system. Ma'at's principles were integral to the judicial system of ancient Egypt. Judges, often referred to as priests of Ma'at, were responsible for upholding her values in their decisions. Courtrooms were places where Ma'at's principles were invoked to ensure justice was served. The concept of Ma'at meant that justice was not merely a legal matter but a divine necessity. Legal texts and court records from ancient Egypt reveal the emphasis on Ma'at in judicial proceedings. Judges would often conclude their verdicts by invoking Ma'at, reinforcing the idea that their decisions were aligned with cosmic order. This integration of divine principles into legal practice highlights the profound influence of Ma'at on the administration of justice. Ma'at in governance. Pharaohs, seen as the earthly representatives of the gods, were tasked with upholding Ma'at in their reigns. Their legitimacy and divine right to rule were tied to their ability to maintain Ma'at within the kingdom. This divine mandate influenced policies, governance, and even international relations. Pharaohs were often depicted offering Ma'at to the gods, symbolizing their commitment to upholding truth, justice, and order. This act was more than symbolic. It was a declaration of their duty to maintain harmony in the land. Historical records indicate that successful pharaohs were those who effectively implemented Ma'at, ensuring prosperity and stability in their reigns. Daily life and Ma'at. The principles of Ma'at permeated everyday life in ancient Egypt. From the commoner to the elite, everyone was expected to live in accordance with Ma'at. This meant adhering to values such as honesty, fairness, and social responsibility. Ma'at was a moral compass that guided personal behavior and social interactions. Festivals and rituals dedicated to Ma'at were common, reinforcing her principles among the populace. These celebrations often included offerings and prayers, seeking Ma'at's favor and guidance. The widespread observance of Ma'at in daily life underscores her integral role in shaping the ethical and moral framework of Egyptian society. Ma'at in art and literature. Ma'at's influence is evident in the art and literature of ancient Egypt. Literary texts, such as the pyramid texts, coffin texts, and the Book of the Dead, frequently reference Ma'at, highlighting her role in the afterlife and the moral expectations she set. These texts provided guidelines for living in accordance with Ma'at and emphasized the consequences of failing to do so. Artistic depictions of Ma'at in tombs and temples often show her being offered by pharaohs to the gods, symbolizing their dedication to her principles. These representations served as visual reminders of the importance of truth and justice. The consistency and prominence of Ma'at in art and literature reflect her pervasive influence across different aspects of Egyptian culture. Philosophical dimensions of Ma'at. Beyond her mythological and societal roles, Ma'at also represented a profound philosophical concept. She encapsulated the idea of a universe governed by an inherent order, where balance and harmony were paramount. This order extended to nature, society, and the cosmos, emphasizing the interconnectedness of all things. The philosophical dimensions of Ma'at influenced Egyptian thought, encouraging a worldview that valued balance and harmony. This perspective shaped how Egyptians understood their place in the world and their relationship with the divine. Ma'at's principles provided a framework for ethical and moral behavior, guiding individuals in their interactions with others and the environment. Evolution of Ma'at's worship. Over the centuries, the worship of Ma'at evolved. Initially, her principles were integrated into the broader religious practices centered around Ra and other major deities. However, as Egyptian society developed, temples dedicated to Ma'at emerged, and her priesthood became more defined. This evolution reflects the growing recognition of her unique role within the Egyptian pantheon. The construction of temples and sanctuaries dedicated to Ma'at indicates the formalization of her worship. These structures served as centers for the propagation of her principles, where priests conducted rituals and ceremonies to honor her. The evolution of Ma'at's worship highlights the increasing complexity and sophistication of Egyptian religious practices. Ma'at in the Amarna period. The Amarna period, marked by the monotheistic reforms of Akhenaten, presented a unique chapter in the worship of Ma'at. Akhenaten's focus on the Aten disrupted traditional religious practices, including those associated with Ma'at. However, the principles of Ma'at persisted, even during this period of religious upheaval. Despite Akhenaten's efforts to centralize worship around the Aten, Ma'at's values remained influential. The eventual restoration of the traditional pantheon under Tutankhamun and subsequent pharaohs reaffirmed Ma'at's enduring significance. This period illustrates the resilience of Ma'at's principles, even in the face of radical religious changes. Ma'at in the New Kingdom. During the New Kingdom, Ma'at's role became even more pronounced. Pharaohs like Hatshepsut, Thutmose III, and Ramses II emphasized their commitment to Ma'at through monumental building projects, military campaigns, and diplomatic endeavors. These efforts aimed to demonstrate their dedication to maintaining cosmic order and justice within the empire. The New Kingdom saw an expansion of Ma'at's influence in both domestic and foreign affairs. Pharaohs used her principles to legitimize their rule and justify their actions. This period also saw the construction of grand temples and monuments dedicated to Ma'at, reflecting her elevated status within the Egyptian pantheon. Ma'at in foreign relations. Ma'at's influence extended beyond Egypt's borders. Diplomatic relations with neighboring states were conducted with an emphasis on Ma'at's principles. Treaties, trade agreements, and alliances were framed within the context of maintaining balance and harmony. This approach not only facilitated peaceful relations, but also reinforced the pharaoh's role as an upholder of Ma'at. Historical records indicate that Egyptian diplomacy was often guided by Ma'at's values. Foreign envoys and dignitaries were received with an emphasis on fairness and mutual respect, aligning with Ma'at's principles. This diplomatic strategy helped to establish Egypt as a stable and respected power in the ancient world. The decline of Ma'at's worship. The decline of ancient Egyptian civilization saw the corresponding decline in the worship of Ma'at. As foreign powers such as the Assyrians, Persians, Greeks, and Romans dominated Egypt, traditional religious practices, including those centered around Ma'at, were supplanted by new beliefs and customs. However, the principles of Ma'at continued to influence philosophical and ethical thought even as her formal worship waned. Despite the decline of her worship, Ma'at's principles remained embedded in Egyptian culture. The values of truth, justice, and cosmic order continued to resonate, influencing later philosophical and religious developments. The legacy of Ma'at persisted, even as the context of her worship changed. Ma'at's legacy in modern times. The legacy of Ma'at endures in modern times, influencing contemporary understandings of justice, truth, and cosmic order. Scholars and philosophers continue to explore Ma'at's principles, drawing parallels between ancient Egyptian thought and modern ethical frameworks. The concept of Ma'at provides a lens through which to examine the interplay between law, morality, and cosmic balance. In modern Egyptology, Ma'at is recognized as a foundational concept that shaped ancient Egyptian civilization. Her influence on law, governance, and daily life provides valuable insights into the values and beliefs of the ancient Egyptians. The enduring relevance of Ma'at's principles underscores their universal appeal and timeless significance. Conclusion. Ma'at, as the goddess of truth, justice, and cosmic order, occupies a central place in the pantheon and philosophy of ancient Egypt. Her principles guided the actions of pharaohs, judges, and commoners alike, ensuring the maintenance of balance and harmony in both the earthly and divine realms. The legacy of Ma'at continues to resonate, offering a profound understanding of the ancient Egyptian worldview and its enduring impact on human thought and culture. This text has explored Ma'at's origins, her role in mythology, her depiction in art and literature, her influence on the judicial and governance systems, and her lasting legacy. Through a comprehensive examination of Ma'at, we gain a deeper appreciation for the values that shaped ancient Egyptian society and their relevance to contemporary discussions on truth, justice, and cosmic order.